Hello guys, hello. Today I will try to describe Andi Astra's spiritual experience that she had while she was on mushrooms. I will try to explain what has been happening spiritually. Now I have already done several of these. I think it was like 6, maybe 7 videos. 6, 7, 6, 7. I'm just joking around, guys. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I have done quite several of these videos, so you probably already know what's up. But yeah, before we dive deep into today's spiritual topic, allow me to just grab my headphones and we will watch a tiny short video clip first.
I went out to the beach, right out where I could look at the stars, and I sat down and I asked the universe, I said, okay, I'm ready. I want to see how it works. I'd asked for a spirit guide to come forward and kind of show me, and kind of immediately I sensed this response, and I had one of my spirit guides come forward, and he kind of looked like one of those biblically accurate angels that you always see on the internet. Kind of scary, but I felt kind of comfortable with this presence. So I was ready, and my guide comes forward and says,
okay, let's go.
And before I knew it, I felt myself blasting through the cosmos. And we get to this part in space where there's these like portal mirrors kind of all floating around, and they all had kind of tech around the outside of them. It was very strange. And they were all being guarded by these entities that kind of looked like spinning tops. They were all piled on top of each other and had all these eyes, kind of scary. And so my guide, who I was with, kind of goes up to these guardians and is having an interaction with them, and something along the lines of, I'm probably not supposed to be here, maybe not supposed to see any of this, but my guide is making a case for me. I'm not really sure exactly what's going on, but somehow we go past. So we go up to one of these portals, and my guide directs me to look through one of them. It looked mostly like I was in a jungle or in a big forest with these big botanicals. But when I looked closer, I could see these like seams going up through everything, and I realized everything was made out of plastic or like this synthetic material, even the ground that we were standing on. It was so insane to me, like still thinking about it, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And it was my first sense that maybe I was in a little bit over my head. I didn't really know what was going on. My brain was like trying to make sense of it. Before I could protest or say anything, I felt myself kind of pulled out of that portal and dunked into another one. And the next one was another world full of plants, botanicals, but this time they were huge. They were enormous, and I could tell immediately that they were like monsters. They had teeth and tentacles, and they like looked like the flower from Jumanji, scary stuff. And I just felt this sinking feeling in my stomach, like I was at a haunted house. And I turned to my guide and I was like, you know what? I'm good. I thought I could do this, but maybe I'm not ready. I was immediately feeling humbled. And again, I kind of got this sense of humor, of like laughing from my guide from the universe, like, yeah, like, what did you think? What did you think? And so I'm pulled out of that portal, and I'm in that kind of space again with all these different portals kind of hovering around. And all of a sudden, these guardians, these watchers are all around us. And I got this sense that they were like angry, that they had kind of made this exception that this mere human could maybe see this stuff, and I wasn't appreciating it, or I wanted to leave already and I was scared. So my guide kind of, again, is advocating for me. I was pulled out of that one, and my spirit guide kind of gathered me up and shot me back to myself. I remember feeling like I could see myself sitting on the beach from far away, and I kind of came back into my body. Who knows how much time had passed, probably minutes, with this deep sense of being unsettled. Of course, I can't tell them anything that happened because they're all just having a good time, looking at the stars, playing the guitar or whatever. I still don't even really know what I saw, but whatever it was, just the tip of the iceberg. I was so freaked out and so afraid, and it made me so uncomfortable. I literally felt sick. That was my ego talking, my ego saying, I want to understand how everything works, when so much of it is really not even for us to understand. Even if we are presented with this information, we're just people. So much of our journey, I think, is about being a human and enjoying what that is. And, we could spend our whole lives trying to figure out how everything works. But we could also spend our whole lives just having fun and figuring out how we work as people. So it was definitely an experience I will not forget.
Now, obviously, the first entity that you have seen, Andy, was probably your spiritual guide, which you have said, which was one of your angels watching after you. And then I would assume that he took you into the astral realm, maybe even into the spiritual realm. I'm not quite 100% sure, I guess. But nevertheless, I would assume that behind each portal was a different timeline. There was a different, completely different universe, completely different timeline that might be simultaneously existing. That's why I would guess there were these entities protecting these portals. So I would assume that you might have even entered a different timeline, which is quite exciting. That sounds very, very exciting. Especially, it might be odd. Even one of those timelines that would be very similar to us. You might even see yourself. Maybe even. Being able to communicate with yourself. So that sounds quite insane, quite amazing, quite just out of the ordinary. It sounds like a truly unique experience. Now later in the video you say that it's not for us to figure out what the purpose of life is, and I would agree. I would think that's probably, yeah, our time here spent on planet Earth is meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be about, the incarnation itself. It's meant to be about enjoying life and everything that has it to offer to us. Everything, all of the good and all of the bad, the entire roller coaster of emotions. It's for us to find and enjoy. And trying to figure it all out might be counterproductive, I would assume. So yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It's definitely something that resonates. And last thing I wanna say is great artwork. I really admire your art. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's unique. Definitely something that you cannot buy at every corner shop. It's different and it's very beautiful. So shout out to Andi. Truly beautiful, truly gorgeous art. Now guys, listen up very carefully. I have already described this particular trip and many others. You will find them all in my blog. It is truly amazing, unique. The blog is so much fun. You will find so much esoterica and so much mysticism over there. So definitely make sure to check it out. Also, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Make sure to smash that like button, especially if you haven't done so yet. It truly helps this channel grow, so I appreciate everybody who decides to follow and smash that decides to smash that like button. It truly helps me a lot. Also, make sure to check out the video here, make sure to check out the video there and everywhere. And guys, I will see ya in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye.